Good morning, Magee News. You know, I'm always excited when somebody comes by to see me, and bless their hearts, I always make them stay here and film, so we never know how we're going to be dressed or what we're going to be doing, and it's like a total part. Talking about sliding by the seat of your pants, we are sliding by the seat of our pants. But Parke Pepper grew up in Magee, not his entire life, but most of his younger school years. He came to Magee, and Parke is Mary Ramsey Johnston's son and Dr. Joe's stepson. And you know how precious Mary is to me, and I do want you to know that she won't come get on the camera with me to talk, and she would really entertain us. So we're just going to do it to Parke. But I thought it would be interesting because Parke has a very interesting job. And but first tell us a little bit about your years here and that kind of stuff. Just tell us about yourself.
Well, I have, let's see, went to the Simpson Academy.
That's right.
Graduated in 1987.
Oh, you're old.
25-year anniversary is this fall.
Really?
It is.
Why don't you come to homecoming Friday night?
I don't know when that is. It's
Homecoming's
Friday night.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
it
my.
sure is.
Well, I think I'll have to.
I think you walked right into that.
But miss home a lot. It was neat. It's always nice to come back and get to see folks that I spent a lot of time with growing up. Live in Senatobia, Mississippi now. Have a wife, Betsy. 3 children. Reagan, who's a freshman at Southern this year, and it's just loving USM, so I'm going to have to kind of transplant as a Golden Eagle here soon.
There you go. Come with me.
I have a son, Yates, who's a 15-year-old 9th grader.
I can't believe he's 15. I cannot believe that.
In Magnolia Heights, which is a little funny because Simpson has played a few ball games back when I was in school against Magnolia Heights. Those are people who are all my friends now that we played against.
Your enemies are now got children the same age as yours.
That's right. And then I have a young son that's 9, Ash, who's at Senatobia Middle School, 4th grade.
You know, I did not realize, though, that Yates was 15.
15.
I still think of him as being, I don't know, I guess I think of him as being 9, really. Well, I can't believe Reagan.
He's like, Yates is like, unfortunately, it's like watching myself. Only the worst parts.
I was just to say, does that mean butting people in the head, running them off the road?
Same interests and things as Dad. So, but it's neat to watch him grow up.
It is.
Happens fast.
So fast. Isn't it amazing?
It is.
And you know, his daughter just pledged DG at Southern this week, and I had been real interested in her going through Rush, and she loved it. And I was so glad because I think it's such a great opportunity for any boy or girl to participate in it. Tell them a little bit about your job.
My job, I am thankful and blessed to be a part of the Baddour Center in Senatobia.
Which is similar to Boswell, but
it's essentially a privately operated Boswell.
Right. Do you take them how old?
We serve adults 18 and older. Our oldest resident 2 Sundays ago turned 80.
Really?
He did, and he is, as a matter of fact, he had been at Boswell at one time.
And
came up there. But he's been there 34 years this year.
Isn't that something? I hope y'all having a party.
Oh, we had a big party.
Good deal.
And his name's Buddy, and he's a pretty awesome fella. But we serve adults with intellectual disabilities, and about 160 from people from places all across the United States.
Do you from everywhere?
From literally half the states in the country, from California to New York to Florida to Michigan.
How do people find out about Baddour?
Typically word of mouth. That's one of the things in the age of internet and marketing with connectivity. We're trying to just do a much better job of raising awareness.
Probably I wouldn't even know as much about Baddour or anything, except we played football, baseball, basketball up that way. And then,
we have a choir called the Miracles that's been there the entire duration, and they literally travel around the United States singing about 80 concert dates a year.
My gracious.
15,000 miles, and they sing. This past, just in July, and I was privileged to travel with them, we sang at the finale of the National Down Syndrome Congress in Washington, D.C.
Oh my goodness.
And while we were there, Senator Wicker also made it possible for us to sing in the rotunda of the Russell Office Senate Building.
How awesome. See, I think it is wonderful. I'm a big Boswell advocate. You know, anyway, of course, that's right here with me. But I also did realize that Baddour was private, and it gave an option.
Well, of course, I started at Mill Creek.
That's right. That's right. I forgot that.
My first job in the field was here in Magee for 2 years at Mill Creek. And,
that kind of leads you into it?
Well, and Mom, taught special ed when I was growing up, and essentially had a comfort level around persons
Right.
with disabilities, so
Right.
that was never a hitch for me. I couldn't have in a million years growing up at Simpson or hearing Magee tell you that's what I want to do with my life, but I've been doing it for nearly 20 years now.
Well, then, see, I can't think of you even being close to having been in working 20 years.
It's hard to.
Of course, I can't think I'm as old as I am either. So what's the difference? I mean,
It's hard for me to imagine that as well, but it's nearly 19 years in this field.
Just makes me think I'm old.
But
What does your wife do?
My wife is she balances keeping up with 3 kids, and she works part-time for her mom, who's an interior designer in
I knew
Memphis.
she had a real interesting job. I couldn't
Her mom is my in-laws are missionaries.
Okay, that's what it was. I knew that they were
Foreign missionaries, and
they got you.
Well, when we were married, they were actually living and stationed in Vienna, Austria. And he spent 11 years in Nepal after coming back after grandkids, and then he has spent the last 2 years going to Cuba. As a matter of fact, they left yesterday for Cuba. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but anyway.
We didn't give any names.
Anyway,
we didn't give any names.
they left yesterday for Cuba for 2 weeks. But
That's awesome.
but my mother-in-law Ellen has a very successful interior design business, and Betsy works part-time for her.
And is it in Senatobia?
It's in Memphis.
It's in Memphis.
And she underwrites, for lack of a better way of putting it, she underwrites their mission work.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, tell people where Senatobia is.
Senatobia is mile marker 265 on the way to I-55 on the way to Memphis. We're literally we're half an hour from downtown Memphis.
Really?
Right off the interstate.
So, do y'all go
Tate
that
County.
way with most everything you do?
We're Memphians. I mean, that's, and
Yeah.
we lived in Memphis for 5 years shortly after marrying, and then we lived in the Nashville area for about 3.5 years before coming back to Senatobia, and we love it. Coming back to Mississippi, it was funny because when I came back to Mississippi and at Simpson, I was between sports and student government. I was involved in so many things, and I have the gift of remembering names and faces.
Ooh, how wonderful.
So it was coming back. I mean, you just remember all these people, and they're like, I know you. And Mississippi's a neat thing. Mike's blessed with that gift.
Yes.
And
yes.
but it's hard to go someplace and not know somebody.
That's true. And I tell everybody I'll rather sleep in Magee, face it one way or another. But I'm just saying, your home is Magee, Mississippi.
It is.
You might
I
have
tell
been
folks
raised
that.
out on the farm in the blueberry and the peaches, or whatever.
Right.
But your home is Magee, Mississippi.
It is.
And he spent many a day on this front porch.
I did.
And so that's why I opted to interview him out here, because he would be comfortable in his own surroundings, because he visited us all the time growing up. Well, if you've got someone that you're looking for, even with maybe an adult that is in a disability or whatever, beside Boswell, there gives you another choice, a private industry. And also, I'm just so glad you came to see us. Don't forget us here in Magee.
Oh, I would never do that.
Don't dare forget your mother. She would be so distressed and so sad and talk so bad about you.
You know she wouldn't allow that.
I do know it. I do know it. And I told her a while ago that we're going to get her on one day for some of her storytelling. That is hysterical. But it's kind of R-rated sometimes with me. I have to be careful.
She'd like to talk.
I know. We wouldn't have to prompt her one bit. We wouldn't have to do any prompting. She'd be going with the wind with it. Well, I do appreciate you letting me interview you,
Thank
and
you.
I am honored that you came to see me. I really am. I cannot tell you how much it means to me, because I keep up with you through Mary, of course. But, one of the strange things is that Mary has been such a guidance to me since she moved to Mississippi years ago. And what was so good is my boys were younger than y'all. So Mary could always tell me these things, and they were so helpful, because she would tell me things like, don't get upset if they start farting in the car with your grandparents. That this is what boys do. And it helped me so much.
And I'm passing that on to my son.
But I'm not kidding. There were so many things that she has told me through the years, and I'm always saying, now Mary, what do I do about this? Well, just let me tell you. So one day I'm going to get her to just tell everybody.
With a wife who has no experience to boys.
And a missionary.
It's been an experience for her as well.
I bet it has been quite enlightening. But if you ever want to bring any of your friends that are in Magee to be on MageeNews.com, we'll sure film you anytime. I hope you'll have a great day. And again, I appreciate you watching Magee News. And just give us a call. Thank you.